Reminders for a grieving heart. Number one is feel your heart. Don't fix your heart. Sometimes we can try to explain our grief as if we're reading an instruction manual or even a grocery list, because it could be easier to speak about your grief from a prepared template or an outlined perspective in order to seem fine or just to seem okay. Yet this is also pushing the very people who can help you away, even pushing yourself away. However, I also want you to note that this is natural. Not everyone is someone who you can confide your grief to or share your vulnerabilities with, and that's okay. Healing doesn't ask you to be vulnerable to everyone. What healing asks is when the explanations get too heavy, or the outlines get too complicated, or when simply trying to be fine is too difficult, make space, take some time away, and be open to simply feeling, not fixing. And how you can do this is by practicing mindfulness, practicing meditation. You can share and be vulnerable to others when you're ready, but practice being vulnerable to yourself first. For example, think of your life as if you were standing on top of a very large mountain. And as you're looking down from below, maybe you see your house, your family, your loved ones. You're imagining your life, your world, as you're looking down on it. What do you see? How do you feel? When you look down on them, what can you be grateful for? What are you hoping for? Not just for yourself, but for them. What colors do you see? Is the wind rustling around you? Are the trees around you? Do you see green? Is it more urban, metropolitan? Is it rural? How warm is it? How cold is it? How do the clouds look? As you're feeling and imagining these things, also imagine the person that you lost, who's in a better place, standing next to you, looking down at your world with you. Imagine the warmth that they feel. Imagine the hope that they feel, not just for them as you're looking down on them, but as they're standing next to you. Enjoy that moment. Be present in that moment. Whenever you feel the need to fix, rather than feel, practice doing mindfulness activities such as these. Essentially, the point is to explain grief as an experience, not as an end result. Not even as an outline or a manual or a list, because those are meant to conclude something or to complete something. Grief is a nonlinear process that isn't meant to be completed. You won't ever fully complete or conclude it, but you will eventually learn how to make room for it. And that's okay. Feel your heart. Don't fix your heart. As for number two, if you can't hold yourself any longer, ask to be held. No one has ever walked away from a loss and said, wow, that was so easy. That was simple. It's not easy and it's not simple losing someone, but at the same time, you would not be feeling this level of grief if you weren't strong enough already to carry it. It takes feeling to find healing, but it also takes finding help. It also takes being held by another rather than simply always holding on to it by yourself. And when I say help, I don't just mean any sort of help. I mean this kind of support that you feel comfortable reaching out to without feeling the need to have to reciprocate. You don't always have to reciprocate when you're receiving help. And when you're grieving, you don't need to reciprocate when you're finding help. Rather than reciprocate, fully receive. Healing from a loss means that it's okay to receive more. It's not about meeting someone halfway right now. You need to meet yourself where you are fully first. Again, if you can't hold yourself any longer, please ask to be held. God bless.